Hello, very good morning, friends. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Guys, Ashish here, and I welcome you all on the behalf of Learnbay. Very good morning, Kavi Priya. Laksh is there. I welcome everyone.
Thank you.
You welcome. Nikita is there. Omar. So let's start, guys. So let it be an interactive session. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Venkatesh. Good morning, everyone, actually. So let's try to understand what is business analytics or business analyst, or what is the role of a business analyst. So anyone would like to say something about this? Like nowadays we hear our terms, like data scientist, data analyst, or business analyst, and these terms seem to be a bit confusing. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Like we actually sometimes we don't know like what is the actual work of a business analyst or a data analyst or a data scientist, or what skills are required, or what is the differentiation when we talk about in terms of the responsibilities and the skills required. Everybody agrees with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So we will first talk about this, who is a business analyst and how business analyst is different from a data scientist or a data analyst. Fine. Then we will learn the basics of Python, and I will tell you like how Python is helpful. Is a required skill to be a data and a business analyst. Fine, guys. So first of all, let's talk about a business analyst. A business analyst. Who is a business analyst? Anyone?
So the business analyst is somebody that's processed the historical business data, like analyzing that data to identify threats,
Yes, yes,
patterns, root causes, and making decision based on those insights.
yes. So then who is a data analyst?
Who do all the work, who process the data, creating different algorithms.
Okay. So okay, that is fine. So tell me one thing, then what is the common between them? Like if you talk about data scientist, business analyst, or a data analyst, what is the common thing between them?
I think it depends on the what do you
Analytics
call,
is
like
common.
a big data and a small data. I think the scientists that
You are talking in very technical manner, in a very wide term, but I am just asking the very basic thing.
okay.
Just for understand, like we don't understand anything, like the very basic things. So what is the most common thing you think like it's there in between business analyst, data analyst, or data scientist? So if I say data is the most common thing, everybody agrees with that?
Data, yes.
Yes.
So first of all, we require data. If we don't have any data, so we are nothing. Yes or no?
Yep.
Can you see my screen? This is Jupyter Notebook, guys. So I will explain like what Jupyter Notebook is. First of all, I want to write here like the data is the most common thing. Yes or no? Whether you are working as a business analyst, data analyst, or a data scientist, data is the most common thing now. What is the difference between a business analyst and data analyst? Let's try to understand. A data analyst is saying what the data is saying. What the data is telling, it is the role of a data analyst, guys. Fine, guys. What the data is telling, that is the job of a data analyst. So it means like data analyst, it is giving some insights from the data, like data is telling this thing. Now, what to make, the thing is how to make the most of it. Make the best possible use of the available insights. This is the job of a business analyst. So let's talk about, so what is data actually? I will come to those terms later. Let's talk a bit about data. What is data? Any fact is
Anything that
data,
we,
yes or no? Any fact? Any
Yeah.
fact, any observation is data? Means data can be anything. Data can be anything nowadays,
Raw
right?
facts.
Any fact, observation, whatever is data, yes or no, guys?
yeah,
Then what is information?
this is
Processed
also a
data.
form of data.
It's a meaningful information. It's a meaningful data.
Processed data is known as information.
Process data, okay. Process data or, you know, something that is of our use in the data, that is information. Yes or no? So information, we can say like meaningful data. Yes or no, guys? So information is something like meaningful data. Now you have the data that is in the raw form. Then you have got information from that data. Then what to do now? Yes, Santoshi, process data, same. So
Clean
after
up the
processing the
data.
data, we get some information. The data becomes meaningful to us. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So what is there after information? We have got information from the data. Then what will you do? That information creates
Oh,
knowledge.
sorry.
Once you get the information, that creates knowledge. Can anybody explain how? For example, let's take an example of a subject matter expert. Let's say a doctor. Okay. So a doctor, like he's doing MBBS. Then what is he doing? He's reading a lot of data from the books. Yes or no?
Yeah,
He's driving some information from the books, like something he's living and something he's observing from that. Agrees?
yes.
Then what is he doing? Actually, he's collecting information slowly, like in the years of his studies. Whether you take an example of a doctor or an engineer, what are they doing? They are just collecting information, right? That information, after some time, like they are collecting, keep on collecting the information, and that brings the knowledge to them. Like after 5 years, 6 years, or in the same field, they can say like, okay, we have knowledge in like, for example, in engineering, or we have knowledge in, medical science. Yes or no? So
Yeah.
data brings information. We get the information from the data, and information, makes us knowledgeable. It gives us knowledge. Everybody agrees with this? Now you
Yeah.
have data, you have got information, now you have got knowledge as well. Then what is, once you have got the knowledge?
Then how we can utilize that or process
That
it?
great. So now we have got knowledge. Then how to use that? So we can say it brings intelligence. Yes or no? What is intelligence? Intelligence is what, like whatever available resources you have, how to make the most of them. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That is what? That is intelligence. So this is a process actually. When we have data, and it works in any field you go in, whether you are working as a finance analyst or a data analyst, whatever, in any field it works the same way. So first of all, we have data. From data, we derive some information that is kind of like meaningful data. But see, what is information for me may be the data for you. What is the data for you may be the information for me. Agree with this or not?
Yes.
So can anybody explain how?
So someone could interpret this information, but someone could not interpret some information.
No, it is not like that. It is not, I haven't got my question. I'm saying like something is data for me, but that is information for you, or maybe vice versa. So let's take an example of, this medical science, right? So what is data in medical science?
Okay, so the customer's information, their diagnostic information.
Yes. So for example, let's say blood sample. Fine. So blood sample is data or not?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Blood sample that goes to the pathology lab. So
Correct.
the technician there that collects the data. So blood is the data for him. right? And he generates a report from that. He generates a report from that. Now that report is the information for that person or not?
Yes.
No.
No,
So
no, for the client themselves.
that technician doesn't understand what does it mean if the somebody is having low RBCs or high RBCs. Yes or no?
Okay.
That is just, he is just transforming the data. That's it. For him, for a technician, blood sample is the data as well, and the report he generates, that is also the data. What he has done, he just transformed the data. He got the blood and he just gave some values. Are you getting my point? But he
Yes.
cannot interpret those reports. Can he? A technician?
No, he's just going to forward that.
Yeah, he will just forward. If he can interpret that, then he becomes a doctor. Yes or no? So that report goes to the doctor. Now that is what? That reports becomes the what? Data for the doctor. He gets the data. Okay, this is this. And with his knowledge, he creates some intelligence. And now he knows like what to do with the patient on the basis of his intelligence. Are you getting my point, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So if somebody is saying, okay, like his like sugar level is like 522. For example, we are not from medical background. And if I say like your sugar level is 422, I don't know anything. Like I don't know what is the meaning of if sugar is 822 or whatever, 522. Yes or no? If somebody says, oh, your blood pressure is like, the higher one is like 140 or the lower one is 80. So we don't know. I'm talking about the normal people. Like what is the meaning of if the blood pressure is 140 or 80, whatever. But a doctor understands, and why he understands that is because of his knowledge he has gained in his MBBS or MD. Yes or no? Now he has knowledge. With that knowledge he can understand, okay, if his blood pressure is this and his different vital minerals and those are in that manner. Now he uses his intelligence and now he knows like what to do, which medicine to prescribe. Fine.
So basically what he's going to do, he's going to collect that data and turn that into an information for the patient.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say, like on the basis of his knowledge, he is using his intelligence now. He
Yeah.
has knowledge, right? He has knowledge about the medical science. He has knowledge about the disease and diagnosis and the medicines. Fine. Now, on the basis of knowledge, he has created some intelligence, and on the basis of his intelligence, he is saying, okay, take this medicine 3 times a day for 15 days. Yes or no?
Yeah.
This is the actual job of a business analyst. So if I talk about with this example, a data analyst is confined from data to information.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting my
Okay.
point? A data analyst collects data, gather data, cleans data. Whatever the data is saying, it draws some insights from the data. Okay, that is data is telling this thing. Now you know what to do. I don't bother like at all about that. Fine. Now that information that is created by a data analyst that goes to a business analyst. Now business analyst uses his intelligence and then he helps the organization to take the decisions. Like whatever be the best possible way to use that data. Are you getting my point? Yes, guys, please tell me if it is clear to you.
Yes.
So a data analyst is like solely related to the data related operations he does, like data warehousing, just storing the data, gathering the data, and so many things like cleaning the data, changing the formats, making it structured like that. Then he creates like some statistical measures, like what the data is saying. Mainly he works on the historical data, like for example, like past 5 years or 6 years of data he checks. Okay, and then he draws some conclusion. Then he may say, okay, we are in a particular area our sale is declining, in a particular area we are doing better. Fine, guys. Like for example, let's take an example of Netflix. You tell me like Netflix is a success or a failure in India?
Success.
It's a failure.
It's a failure.
Netflix has has been a failure in India. He has have very tough competition from, Disney Hotstar and Amazon Prime. So the thing is, Indian CEO, he has just recently said, in the, Netflix CEO of India, he just recently said, like, I don't know what is happening to India. It's a very, very big customer base because we are more than 150 crores around, right? Around 150 crores. So it's a very big market. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
So he should have earned a
Yes.
lot of revenues from India. We have
Right.
4G, everybody's having smartphones and, apps and all. So we are digitally forwarding very fast. Still, Netflix has been a failure. If you have, I don't know whether you are aware of it or not, they have just reduced their prices for the subscriptions. I think in 140, for 149 you can get for 1 month, or I don't know, I'm not sure. But they have reduced their prices. Why? Because they are failing in India. So data analyst will tell, okay, you are doing great in America, North America, South America, or in Europe, or in different countries of Asia, but in India you are declining. Fine. This will tell the data analyst to the team. The data analyst will tell, like, you are doing overall better, but in India you are declining. This is the insights of the data are saying. Now the job of business analyst comes. He knows, like, we are declining in India, then he will try to find out the reason behind that. What is the reason? Why are we declining in India? Then he will come with the best possible answer for that. What may be the best possible way to treat this? How can we grow? How can we capture the market again? That is the job of a business analyst. Understood, guys?
So basically, the finding is a job of data analyst, but okay, and then taking like a water methodologies and all that is done by only business analyst.
Yes. So I will explain with this help of some slides. I hope you will get to know better. So I will come to the examples once again, because these terms are quite we just get confused. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah, it's a little
So
bit
let's
confusing.
talk about one by one. So first of all, business analyst. So business analyst is the process. Business analytics, or is the process of transforming data into insights by using methodologies such as data mining, predictive analysis, and statistical analysis to improve business decisions. So it's a in a very wide manner, this definition has been written. The business analyst mainly related to the business. The business analyst mainly related to the business. I will come to these terms like data mining and all. First of all, try to understand what is a business analyst. Who is a business analyst? A business analyst is a professional who bridges the gap between the business teams and the IT team. Business team is what? In business team, there may be HR, there may be stakeholders, there may be shareholders, there may be clients. Yes or no? And in the
Yeah.
IT team, there may be business data analysts, there may be software developers, there may be data scientists. So business analyst is an intermediary between the business people and the IT team, or the, you can say, technical people. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, so we cannot call business analyst as an IT people.
No,
Right.
that is
They are
the
IT.
part of both. That
Okay.
is the part of both, you can say. Okay. We cannot say, like, see, let me take an example. For example, you're working in an IT firm and you develop some apps, for example, right?
Yeah.
And a business analyst, a client for a client approaches, okay, I want a new app for my business. Okay, so business analyst will ask, okay, tell me what features you want. Okay, what do you actually want in your app? So clients will tell all the requirements to him, like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, or I don't want this, or I want these, like upgradations. Fine. So business analyst will gather all the information from the clients. Then he will contact his IT team, maybe the software developers, and he will tell, okay, I need this. I have a client and these requirements should be filled. Then the IT team will, he will be continuously taking the follow-ups and having the meetings with them. Then once the application is ready, then he will test whether all the requirements are being fulfilled or not. Fine.
Excuse me. I
Yes.
guess prior to that, feasibility check is also one point.
Your voice is cracking, my friend. Could you please speak louder?
I guess feasibility check is 1 point before the implementation.
1.4.
Feasibility and implementation. I
Yes,
think it's like that.
feasibility is a part, you can say. Feasibility, like there are so many aspects there, like cost effectiveness, opportunity cost, feasibility, and so many things are there in the background. We are talking in the broad manner. Fine. So let's try to understand the business analyst, what he actually does. So talking to the business people, there may be client, there may be stakeholders, shareholders, there may be HR team or whatever, to know the business objective, like what to do, what the business actually wants, right? So it basically means like understanding the business needs, client needs, whatever. Then he does the documentation and he makes the requirements. Then he goes to his IT team and then asks them, okay, I want this design, or I want this application, or I want this dashboard, or I want, this information from you, right? So he may ask the data analyst team, okay, give me the information like what is happening to our sale in the last 10 years. Tell me. Are you getting my point? Okay, tell me like what is happening in that particular area to us. Fine. Then he will be, it is not like he will be working with data analyst and will try to find out the cause behind that. Are you getting my point? For example, once he get the data, once he get the reports, once he get the application done, then he will check whether it is working properly or not. Once he is satisfied, then he will deliver to the client, or he will give his recommendations to the business team. Okay, you can take this decision. If you take this one, we can grow. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So this is a job of a business analyst. So business analyst is more of a managerial role, but he should have the skills of a data analyst as well. Fine, guys?
Like a technical skills or just a broader picture like of the
See,
infrastructure.
for example, let's take an example. You are a manager in a company and your subordinate gives you a report, right? So he makes a report in Excel, for example, and you are checking like, okay, this is this report. So you will just, believe in that like everything is fine, or you will have a cross check.
Yeah. Let
Tell
me
me.
so what's
As a manager, you will have cross check, yes or no?
the point of business analyst? I mean, data analyst can directly like that.
See, whatever is there, but you are right, like data analyst will do a different thing, and business analyst, as of a managerial role more, but he should have technical skills as well. So he can cross check, he can guide the teams.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting my point? If he doesn't have
Yes.
any technical skills and his data analyst is, is not so much what to call knowledgeable to make the things proper, then business analyst will be misguided, yes or no?
Yes.
If the business analyst is misguided, then the whole organization is misguided. So they will, they have to face losses in future.
So
Right.
without the skill of data analyst, you can be a business analyst.
The skills of a data analyst should be, a business analyst should know those skills. Apart from that, apart from the skills of a data analyst, business analyst should know the, interpersonal and communication skills, how to deal with the customers. Okay. How to negotiate with the customers. So it's a kind of managerial role. Yes or no? So business analyst, you can understand it is a, combination of technical skills as well as managerial skills. Fine, guys?
Yep.
Typically, he will ask the data analyst team, okay, get the task done, or the software developer team, okay, give me this task done. That's fine. But when, for example, he is going to explain to the clients what is happening in the background, if he doesn't have any knowledge, suppose software developer team has given him an app. Okay, this is the app is ready. You just go have it and go to the client. Now, business, it is the job of business analyst to explain everything to the clients. Yes or no? Because he is
Yes.
related to client only.
And
Client
we have to cross check that.
who is doing back, like who is there in the software team or data analyst team. Yes or no? He only knows the business analyst. Now, business analyst is explaining the app. Look, okay, this app works this way. If he doesn't have any technical skills, how can he explain them? Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So let's try to understand skills of a business analyst, skills required by a business analyst. So first of all, he should understand the business objective, yes or no?
Yeah.
If he doesn't understand, like what is the problem, then he won't be able to provide any solution to that. Moreover, he should have analytical thinking. Do you know what is the meaning of analytical thinking, guys? For
Like
example,
taking
you have
deep
four
insights.
options. Okay, you have 4 options. For example, you are going to apply in a college. You have done your graduation and you want to do your masters, and you have 4 options. You can do in your masters in data science. You can do your masters in computer science. You can go for a management course, but you can do only one at a time. Yes or no?
Right. Yeah.
So out of 3, you will choose one, or you have to choose one. Then you make a decision. How you make a decision? You do some analysis in your brain. You collect some data from your peers and colleagues, subordinates or seniors. Yes or no? Then you draw some conclusion, and then you take your decision. Yes or no? So this is what analytical skills or analytical thinking. Because a business analyst has to communicate, has to be in touch with the clients, stakeholders, shareholders, and different business teams, maybe HR or different teams. So he should have good communication and interpersonal skills. He should have decision making skills, like as I've just told you. It's a kind of related to the analytical skills, guys. Apart from that, when it comes to the technical skills, he should know the programming languages that mainly works on data. So in data, like we work through Python or R. Okay, you can choose anyone, or you can choose both as a business analyst. In Python, there are some libraries specifically, working on data. Those are NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. So today we will be talking about them. Like what is NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn, and how are they helping a business analyst? Fine, guys. Apart from that, visualization tools. Why visualization tools? Because a business analyst has to make reports, has to show some graphs. Yes or no? To the team. Okay, this is happening. See, and we should take this decision. And if we take this decision, then this will happen. So he has to explain everything to the team. Maybe the HR, maybe the CEO, maybe the owner, or maybe the client. So he should know some visualization tools so that he can create graphs, reports, and everything. For them, we have Tableau and Power BI. Apart from that, he should know some database, how to work on database. At least the basic knowledge he should have. Okay. So in database, we have 2 types of databases. One is SQL and one is NoSQL. So SQL is like a structured query language, and there are many options available when you work on SQL. So we have MS SQL Server provided by Microsoft. We have MySQL. It is provided by Oracle, and Oracle itself is provided by Oracle. Fine. One is NoSQL. There is a new database, that is MongoDB. It is a NoSQL database. So actually, what is the difference? SQL is when we work on the tables in the form of rows and columns, but MongoDB, when we work on non-structured data, there are no tables at all. Okay. So, and apart from that, MS Excel is very much required by a business analyst. So these are the skills required. Guys, have you understood?
Yes.
Forget about a
So that
data analyst for a moment. Forget about a data analyst for a moment. We will come to that in the next slide. Just tell me if you have understood what a business analyst actually does.
yeah.
Yes.
Fine. So let's come to what is the difference between a data analyst and a business analyst, and I will tell you a few more things later on. So now comes to who is a data analyst. A data analyst's fundamental job is to tell compelling stories with the data. Data analyst doesn't know like what decision is to be taken. That is the job of a business analyst or the business team. He just tells what his historical data is saying. Fine, guys.
Okay.
So now comes to the point that is a bit more, that we all are confused with. Difference between business analyst and a data analyst. So try to understand. A data analyst generates insights from the data, and the business analyst uses that data to make recommendations and decisions. Agree with this?
Yes. So basically, business analyst, then it's more technical than data analyst, right?
Data analyst is more technical because he has to dig deeper in the data, but business analyst is of more, like both. He will have technical as well as managerial skills. Are you getting my point? Now you tell me you have
Yes.
got some insights. Okay, this is the sale is declining in India, for example, Netflix. So business and data analyst will tell like in India sales are declining of Netflix. Fine, that is the job of data analyst. Data analyst won't tell like what to do now. He doesn't know. Here is the job of a business analyst. He will try to find out the cause. What is the cause behind this? Why the sale is declining, and what can we do to to reverse it, to increase our sales? Getting my point?
Yes.
So business analyst takes some insights from the data analyst, and then he thinks, he uses his cognitive skills, maybe some statistical analysis, maybe he digs deep after that, he tries to plot some possibilities, and then he recommends some decisions to the organization. He provides some recommendations to the organization. Okay, you do this one, do this thing.
Okay,
Fine,
so
guys.
he holds a critical skills as well as managerial as well as technical.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So he is both like technical skills as well as managerial skills. Managerial means analytical and cognitive skills are there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fine. So let's come to the next point. A data analyst knows the data well, whereas a business analyst knows the business well. So agrees with this point? A data analyst knows like how many rows and columns in my data, whether the data is structured or not structured. Okay. And how to clean the data and all. Business analyst knows in the business analyst always thinks in the context of the organization, whereas a data analyst always thinks in the context of the data. Fine. Business analyst thinks, okay, I have this data and this data is telling me, so what can I make, make the most of it in context to the, organizational growth? How can I use this data to make my organization stronger? Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So with this, do you agree like a business analyst should understand, should have the knowledge of data? Yes or no?
Yes.
How to read the data, right? Even the insights are there, how to read those insights. Now, a data analyst more of technical skills, whereas a business analyst is more of interpersonal communication skills along with the technical skills. So I hope this point is clear to everyone now.
Yes.
Now, data analyst mainly works with IT team, and the business analyst works as an intermediary between IT team and the business clients and stakeholders. So business analysts will be talking to the clients, will be talking to the HR team, maybe will be talking to the any related team. Okay. And he will be talking to the IT team, maybe the software developers, maybe the data scientists, maybe the data analysts. Fine. He's a bridge between them. And the job of a business analyst is to provide the resources, whatever required.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, please.
I think his role is also known as like I think product owner or something, right? That's business analyst.
I will come to that. I
Okay.
will come to that. What is happening? Sorry. So this is the career path of a business analyst. So first of all, we have business analyst. Then he becomes the senior business analyst. Then he becomes a subject matter expert. What is the meaning of subject matter expert, guys?
I think the VP of the RWD.
See, when you gain specific knowledge in a particular domain, that is a kind of like domain knowledge if you have. So for example, if we're talking about a MD doctor, like MBBS MD, so he's a subject matter expert, yes or no? Only in the medical science. Agree with this?
Yeah.
So if somebody has done like CA or whatever, or he has a good knowledge in accounts and he gains knowledge like how to work with the finances and all, then we can say like finance analyst. Are you getting my
Yes.
point? So finance
Yeah.
analyst, marketing analyst, or healthcare analyst, whatever, these are known as subject matter expert. So as you are, once you are working as a business analyst, later you are working as a like senior business analyst, then you gain knowledge in a particular domain specifically. That's a kind of specialization we do. Fine. So on the basis of your experience, then you can become a subject matter expert, and then you can say, okay, I am a finance analyst, I am a marketing analyst, I am a healthcare analyst, or whatever. Fine, guys.
Okay.
Then you becomes a project manager, so you lead a team, and after that you can be a product owner, and it goes up like up to the CEO you can go.
Yeah.
So
So
yes,
who is data scientist then?
yes, I will come to that. Who is data scientist? So first of all, tell me, have you understood the difference between data analyst and a business analyst, guys?
Yes.
So let's come to our Jupyter notebook, and let's try to understand a few more things, guys. Guys, please tell me if this Jupyter notebook is visible to you guys here.
Yeah.
Fine. So let's try to understand. We have three kinds of analysis, guys. One is descriptive analysis. It's a part of kind of statistics. Then we have one is known as predictive analysis. And then we have something is known as prescriptive analysis. So these are mainly three. One more is there, but that is not very common. So one is known as the diagnostic analysis. Try to understand what is the descriptive analysis is what? What happened in the past? This is the descriptive analysis. It tells what happened in the past. Okay, guys, understood? Like if you have 10 years of sales data, then you can tell, okay, in that particular year we had that much sales, in the next year we had that much sales. Yes or no? That is a kind of descriptive analysis. Predictive analysis, it is like it tells, or it predicts actually what may happen in future. In the given conditions. In the given conditions or circumstances. Fine. So it predicts what may happen in the future in the given conditions or circumstances, guys. So now this prescriptive analysis. Then what to do? What to do? Or you can say like it tells actually, it tells what to do. On the basis of information we have. Diagnostic analysis is a kind of like why something happened in the past. It tells why something happened in the past. Is the language clear to everyone, guys? So let's talk
Yes.
about one by one. First of all, descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis, like what happened in the past. For example, you are working in a company and you may say like last 10 years of sales you may analyze. So that is what? Descriptive analysis or prescriptive analysis?
Descriptive.
Descriptive.
Descriptive analysis, you have historical data of sales. Then you can come to know like, okay, in 2020, we have that much of sales. Okay. So this is descriptive analysis. It is done by a data analyst. Okay. He will get the data and he will draw the insights. He will draw the graphs, whatever is required. And he will try to, tell every aspect related to that, sales data or whatever he's being asked to do. Clear? So descriptive analysis is something that is done by a data analyst. Now comes to the predictive analysis. Predictive analysis predicts what may happen in the future. For example, you have, okay, we have this much of capital, we have this much of, workforce. Fine, guys. We are having this kind of competition at the moment, and we have this much of product line. So this is the job of a data scientist. Now he predicts, like, with these available features or with these available, resources, we may degrow or grow in the next 5 years. Are you getting my point? For example, our net worth is, for example, 1000 crores now. So it is the job of a data scientist. He will analyze everything, every parameter related to the, market and our organization. And then he will predict, like, after 5 years, we may be like, if we are 1000 crores now, so maybe like 1500 crores after that, after 5 years. So this is what prediction or not, guys? We are predicting something about the future, like where we lie after 5 years.
Based on our past data, right?
Based on everything, the past data, the
Okay.
current data, and
And
every possible aspect related to, every parameter related to that.
okay.
Fine? Yes or no, guys? So this is not prediction or not. If I'm saying, okay, these things we have, this is the market saying, at this pace the market is growing, this is the inflation rate, okay, and the government's policies are saying this on, keeping every parameter in mind. I am saying, like, we may get, from 1000 crores to 1500 crores in 5 years. This is prediction or not, guys?
Yes.
This is done by a data scientist. So a data scientist does the predictive analysis. Fine. How he does that is a different thing. For that, you have to learn machine learning, how to do, apply the algorithms and all. Clear? But I hope you have understood the job of a data scientist now. Data analyst mainly works on the historical data or current data. Data scientist is someone like who predicts the future, whether we will grow or we decline. Now comes to the prescriptive analysis. It is whatever, on the basis of available resources, what the best possible action we can take. Prescriptive analysis is something that is done by the business analyst. Fine, guys. So you tell
Yes.
me, if a business analyst is doing prescriptive analysis, for him, it is important to know the work of a data analyst or a data scientist, yes or no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
For example,
Yes.
if a data scientist makes some false prediction for the future and business analyst just believes him, so maybe he will fall in a trap. Yes or no?
Yes, correct.
Possible.
So what I'm taking is like business analyst once was a data analyst and then became data scientist and eventually became.
It is
This
not
is how it
required,
works.
but
Okay.
it is not like you should follow the same hierarchy. You can directly start from the business analyst, but basic skills you should know of, at least like of a data analyst or a data scientist. Yes or no?
Yeah, so for the data scientist, we need, like you said, Python, MATLAB, NumPy, Pandas, right? And
It is
then,
for data analyst as well. So
yes,
all these things
for
can be used
scientists,
by a business analyst, by a data scientist, or a data analyst. All the three.
so the machine learning, I think it's hard to understand and all that. Like it's a next level thing, no?
As it is not like that. You don't, as a
Oh,
business analyst, you don't need to understand the, what to call machine learning, but you need to know, like, how to read the data. That is
oh, got you.
okay. You don't need to learn machine learning algorithms is something you won't learn as a business analyst. That is a job of a data scientist, but you will know, like, how to read the data.
Okay.
You should have knowledge to ask questions to the data scientist. On what basis you are saying, like, we will be from 1000 crores to 150, like 1500 or something? There should be some, there should be some logic behind that. Yes or no?
Yep.
Then you should be able to ask relevant questions to the data scientist. And for that, you should know some knowledge about the data. Agree with my point?
Yes.
So I hope it is clear to you guys now. What is the difference between a business analyst and a data analyst or a data scientist? So
Yeah.
in wider term, you can read these three things, and I think in a simple words you can come to know, right? So it is not required like you have to start from a data analyst, then a business analyst, and or whatever. You can directly start from as a business analyst. The only thing is required, you should have some basic knowledge of how to read the data, how to make the charts, how to make the graphs, and how to dig deeper in the data. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
For that, you should know like Python and a few libraries related to data like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Apart from that, you should have good skills on Excel and some basic knowledge about the databases like SQL or NoSQL. Not in deep like you want to be an SQL developer, no. But some basic knowledge about the databases. Fine, guys?
Yes.
So, shall we move now to the next point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, let's go.
So, I will tell you about the Python, how is it helpful for us, okay, as a business analyst, and how it will help you to understand different aspects related to data, guys. So in Python, one thing we have basic Python, guys. When we study Python, first of all, we have to study basic Python. Then, because we are going to work, Python is a general purpose language. It can be used for app development, web development, game development, and in automation and at so many places, but we are particularly using it for data. Yes or no? So after the basic Python, so we use some data related libraries. And in data related libraries, we have NumPy, Pandas, we have Matplotlib, and we have Seaborn. Okay. So for a data scientist, a few more libraries are being added like Keras, TensorFlow, and Scikit-learn and all. So as a business analyst, you don't need to learn them. As a business analyst, that is more than sufficient for you in Python, basic Python, and this one. Fine, guys. So we will be having overview like what this NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn is, and how we actually do work in them. And tomorrow we will have a case study and a complete analysis. We'll do our data set using these libraries. So we should know the basic of these libraries, guys. So first of all, let me tell you a few things from the basic Python. First of all, let's talk about list. So a list is a data structure. List is a what to call data structure in Python, or you can say a container type.
So I mean, out of 10, right?
Pardon?
Out of 10, right? Out of 10, like a Likert scale, what
Yes.
should be the like 5.5, 6, 7, 8? What should be the percentage in order to learn this? Like
Python.
when you say basic Python, right?
As a business analyst, you are saying?
Yes, as a business analyst.
For example, as a business analyst, you say like 50% technical and 50% managerial. Fine. So managerial, like you will be working on your communication and different aspects. Now I come to the technical part. So in technical part, you can say Excel and Python, like these three libraries, you can say like 50-50 in a kind of, or like, or you can say like 40-40, and the rest 20% you can leave for like Tableau, Power BI, and different like SQL and all. Fine.
Okay. And when it comes to data analyst,
Then he will be more working on Tableau and Power BI apart from these things, but he will be less working on the interpersonal skills like communication and all.
so when it comes to Python, he should be on the advanced level, right? To put logics and all that.
See, these libraries are, you can keep on learning them for a year. That is not required actually, but at least the basic understanding you should have.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah. Like that is like whatever is required to understand your data. So it will help you in that.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah. So list is a container type that contains the data. That contains elements of different type. So I will just give you an overview. So list is what? Anything inside the square brackets is a list. Anything inside the square brackets is a list. Let's take an example. So in basic Python, first of all, we are talking about list, guys. So I have taken a variable, for example, lst equal to, so this is the square brackets. So whatever is there in square brackets, that is a list. You can have any type of elements. For example, I say 1, 2. So these are what? Integer values. I can say like 5.5, it's a float value. I can say true, it's a Boolean value. And I can say none, it's a none value, whatever. And if then we can have, for example, I say business analyst. So it's a string value. So if I say print LST and I want to check what is the data type of this variable. So this list is being printed and the type is a list. List means the data type of this data structure or container type is a list. Fine, guys. So list is a container type. Container type means it can contain data and it can contain data of any kind of element. Like data type may be anything. That may be an integer value, float value. This is a Boolean value. This is a none type and a string value and so on. Fine, guys. So this is that much is required. Why I'm telling you, it can take heterogeneous data. Heterogeneous means any kind of data. Now the question comes, if we want to like and do we have any data structure that takes the homogeneous elements only? Then we have arrays. Array is the data structure. That can contain homogeneous elements.
When
What
you
is the
say
meaning
any
of-
type of data, what, sorry.
Pardon? Yes.
When you say any type of data, what does that mean? Like audio, video, or
For that we have
log
different
type?
libraries. So in basic Python, the data types we are talking about integer, float.
Oh, okay. The string.
We are talking about string. We are talking about Boolean. Okay, we are talking about list, tuple, dictionary. So these are the data types of different data types in Python. Fine, guys. So these are some basic. We have complex also. We can work on audio, videos and all, but for them we have different libraries. Okay. For example, you want to work on images, then you have to have OpenCV. If you want to work on text data, then we have NLP. So different libraries are there in Python itself.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. But we are talking about the basic Python. So in basic Python, we have only this kind of data types. Fine, guys. So a list can contain any kind of data. It can contain another list as well. For example, this is a list, yes or no, guys, because it is having square brackets. So I can say 1, 2, 3. So it is again having a list. So list can contain any type of data. Now let's come to the array. Array is a data structure that can contain homogeneous elements, or you can say that contains only the homogeneous elements. Fine. What is the meaning of homogeneous elements, guys?
Same data type.
Same data type. Great. So now the thing is, if we can have list and it can have different kind of data types, then what do I need to work on the same data type like the homogeneous elements? The answer is list is a bit slow, but arrays are faster. So for faster memory, faster functionality and operations, we use arrays instead of list. List is a bit slow rather than arrays. So now array is a collection of homogeneous elements. In Python, we have NumPy library to work on arrays. So if we want to work on arrays, we have NumPy library. So let's try to understand the NumPy. If you're not asking anything, guys, please mute yourself. So NumPy is the library. So NumPy stands for
Numerical Python.
numerical Python. It is mainly used, used to work on, numbers, large numbers, mainly when we have large numbers of data. For example, I want to have 2.56. So it's a small number or a big number?
Small.
But if I, after decimal points, I have some kind of value like this. When precision or accuracy is more important. For example, you are working, you are reading in your class. So for that, this long value doesn't matter. You will leave the value like this, or maybe we'll add something and you will make it like this. 5.7, 2.5, 2.57. Yes or no?
Yeah.
But for example, if you take the example of space research like ISRO and NASA, so there you will see what? Even a small number will make a big difference. Yes or no, guys?
They want to be 100% accurate.
Yes, in that case, accuracy is more important. In those cases, we use NumPy. Fine, guys?
Oh.
So
Okay.
in those cases, we use NumPy. So mainly NumPy is used for used to work on big numerical data for accurate and faster operations. When you have, for example, billion and trillions of data, so your list will be slow, very slow, and you want something to be faster, then NumPy is the answer for that. So is it understood, guys? What is NumPy and why do we use it?
Yeah.
So now it is mainly work on the arrays. So how to create a NumPy array? How to create an array in NumPy? So first of all, at first we have to import NumPy. How do we import NumPy? So we say import keyword with import, and I say NumPy. So it is means we are calling the NumPy library or package that is available in Python. So any object, any operation, any function that is defined inside NumPy, if I want to use that, I have to first import NumPy. Fine, guys?
Okay. Yep.
So we cannot use NumPy if I don't import it. Fine. So I have to import NumPy. We use import keyword and we just write the package name. For example, import NumPy. I have imported NumPy. If I want to, for example, in NumPy, array function is there to create an array. Array function is there to create an array. Array from a list, you can say. Just for example. So if this array function is defined inside the NumPy library, if I directly use it, I say array, and inside this I pass a list of numbers, for example 1 2 3 4 5, and I run it. So it is giving me an error. Array is not defined. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Because in basic Python there is no module or no function related to array, because array is defined inside the NumPy library or package. Are you getting my point? So if I want to use any function related to NumPy library, first of all I have to import it, and I have to any operation related to this library I have to access that. Then I have to use this NumPy, and with dot operator I have to access that. Now it is working. Can you see?
Yeah.
Any operation related to that, this NumPy library, I have to say like import NumPy, and to access every operation I have to say like this NumPy and then dot. But this NumPy is a very big, very like every time I have to say NumPy. It, it creates, it's hectic. So
Yeah.
we can say as NP, and it is known as instance. Instance means we are giving this module a name by ourselves. You can give any name. You can say N, whatever you like. So generally we say NP. It means what? I have imported NumPy, and in this particular area, what I'm saying, like wherever I have to use NumPy, I can use this NP. Yes or no, guys? I can use this NP. So for example, instead of NumPy, I can say NP. It is working. I store this in a variable, for example, array equal to numpy.array, and I print array now. So I am getting this. Guys, it is understood to you?
So what
So
is
any-
ARR? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
This is a variable name. You can take any name. Variable
So we
name can
have
be
to,
anything.
we still have to put array NP
No.
dot array.
No, this you can take whatever. You can take a variable name can be anything. Still it will
Yeah,
work.
I mean, no, after that, like NP dot array. We have
Yes,
to
this
mention.
array should be there because it's a function.
Okay.
The
Okay.
job is function is to create an array from a list.
Okay. Now I understand.
Fine. So if we don't use those, it will not create an array because this is the job, this array function, to create an array. Is it
Okay.
understood to you guys? But what is an array? Array is something like in the form of, we have in the form of a matrix. It is some kind of matrix, yes or no, guys? A matrix looks like this. Everybody agrees?
Yes.
So if you are from mathematics, you might know like how a matrix look like. So for example, I want array to be printed in this manner. Then we have reshape method. So for example, I say, my variable name is array. Whatever, any name you can take, and I am saying create an array. To create an array, I have to use array function, and to call array function, I have to use numpy instance np.array, and I am passing a list inside, and I am saying 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Fine, guys. So if I print array here,
You missed a in array.
You forgot the A before
yes. So I have created an array, but I want it to be printed in this form. So what is it? In the form of rows and columns. Matrix. So matrix is what? When we represent any data in the forms of rows and columns, yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
So how many rows we have?
3.
Three.
And 3
3 by
columns.
3.
So I can use reshape method, and I can pass the rows and columns. I say 3 and 3. Now it is in the form of matrix. Fine, guys.
Yep.
And if you know the linear algebra, so matrix is the very short presentation of big calculations. Yes or no?
Yeah.
With two matrix, if you have two matrix, you can perform very big calculations on that. That is why NumPy is faster, because it works in the form of matrix as we do in the linear algebra, guys. So have you understood like how to create an array in NumPy and how to reshape it?
Yeah.
So we have different functions. For example, you want to create a function of random values, array of random values. Then you can say random array. Any variable name you can take, guys. Then for that we have random function np.random rand, and here you just pass the rows and columns. I want 3 rows and 3 columns of what? Random values. Random values can be anything. It is chosen by the NumPy itself. See, an array has been created of random values. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
For example, you want to create an array of random values, but the value should be integer. Here we are having the float values. I don't want the decimal point. Okay. I want to create an array of what? Integer array. Integer random array. Variable name you can take anything, guys. So for that we have np.random.randint function is there. And here we can say like I say, for example, 10 and step size what is there? I say int random array. So for example, 1 to 10, I want to create 1 to 10, and the step size is, for example, I say how many values. For example, if between 1 to 10 I want like 9 values, so it is creating me 9 random values between 1 to 9. So what is it actually? If I talk about the syntax, this is the start value, this is the end limit, or you can say stop, and this is the number of values.
The last number.
Of values we want. So what I'm
Okay,
saying,
number of values. Okay.
yes, between 1 to 10, I want 9 random values. Between 1 to 10, I want 9 random values. So it is giving me 9 random values, yes or no? In
Yeah.
random order, it can give anything. So 8 is repeated like twice or whatever. So this way we can create like this. So now what is the use of NumPy has very, it has faster operations because it can work on matrix, and matrix is a very fast way to perform calculations, guys. So for example, let me create an array. So I say array equal to, and I say np dot random dot randint, and between 1 to 50, and I want for example, if I want to have 3 rows and 5 columns, so 15 values I need, yes or no? And I am saying reshape. I want 3 rows and 5 columns, and now I print AR. So I'm getting 3 rows and 5 columns of random values between 1 to 50, yes or no, guys? Any doubts here?
No.
Just a second. Methods on arrays. So I am creating an array where 3 rows are there and 5 columns are there, and the values should be integer, and integer value should be in random form. That is why I'm using this function random.randint. And the values it will be giving between 1 to 50, but total 15 values I want. And 15 values I am representing in the form of 3 rows and 5 columns. So 3 multiplied by 5 will be 15. Yes or no, guys? So these, the multiplication of this and these values should be matched. If I make it 16, then it will throw me an error, because it cannot reshape. 3 rows and 5 columns, how many values should be there? 15.
15
yes or no?
values.
But I am passing 16 values here. So 1 value is extra. So it is giving me the, reshape. It is asking me to reshape. So it should be like this. Now, for example, I want to find out the maximum. So basic operation I can use. So I can say find the maximum of array. So it will give me the maximum. Even apart from that, we can check the, we can say array operations, array dot shape. So it is giving me the shape, 3 rows and 5 columns. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
I can say array dot size. So it will give me the number of elements I have in my array. So how many elements do I have in my array? 15 elements I have, right? It can give me the dimension, how many dimensions I have in my array. So I can say array dot ending. Okay. It is giving me like 2 dimension. 2 dimension means rows and columns. When we represent something in the form of rows and columns, so it means what? Tell me, guys. So it is known as 2-dimensional array. So 1 dimension is what? 1 dimension is row, and second dimension is column. Like When you represent in the form of like X and Y on the X axis and Y axis, then it is known as two-dimensional array. Fine. So we can do like, we can find the maximum, we can find the minimum. So for that we have np.mean and I pass array. So we can find the minimum value. So maximum value is what, 47? Let's check. So yes, maximum is the 47, minimum is the 1. Yes or no, guys? Apart from that, we can find the mean value. So I can say mean np dot median, sorry, mean, and here I can say array. So mean value is the 25. What is the mean? If we add all of them and then we divide the number of values. So if I add all of them and then I divide by 15, then I will get the mean value. But with the function, I am getting it directly. Yes or no? Apart from that, we can find out the percentile value. So np dot percentile. And here I have to pass the array which I am finding out the percentile of, and here I want to pass the value what percentile I want. So like I want to find out in array what is the 25th percentile value. So it is giving me 7. So the 25th percentile value of this array is 7. So it is calculating percentile by itself. For example, I need to find out the 99th percentile value from this array. So I can, instead of 25, I can say 99. So it is giving me 99th percentile value. So here these are some basic operations we are performing on array. So fine, guys. Have you understood? So here my objective is to tell you, like NumPy is a library in Python that we use to work on the numeric calculations. When we have long numeric calculations, then we use NumPy. Why NumPy? Because it works as a metric works in the linear algebra, and matrix is used to perform the calculations faster. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
And
So,
we also do statistical operation.
Yes, you can do like this. In percentile is a statistical operation. You can find the standard deviation np dot std, and then you can say array. So it is giving you the standard deviation. If you want to know the variance, then you can say so. A lot many things you can do. So it is giving you the variance of whatever. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot many things we can do in NumPy. Now next library that is the most important, I feel, is the pandas.
Hello sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I have a doubt sir. आपने initialize कैसे करा numpy और array को एक बार वो बताना.
See, NumPy is a library in Python. So when we work on any library or package, first of all, we have to import that to use. Okay. If we any operation, see NumPy has a lot of functions available inside this. So I have given you a few examples, like random, randint, array function is there, size attribute is there, minimum, min function, mean function, percentile function, std function, and variance. Yes or no? So if I want to use these functions, these are defined inside the NumPy library. I cannot use these functions directly. So I have to import NumPy first to use any operation that is defined inside the library NumPy. So to import the library, this is the syntax: import, and we write the library name. So I'm saying import NumPy. Then to access every operation related to NumPy, every time I have to write like NumPy dot, like NumPy dot array, NumPy dot random, NumPy dot mmean, whatever, like mean function is there. So NumPy is a longer name. So I have given an instance for it, that is NP. So NP is the name. Instance means I am giving this NumPy by myself. So wherever I say NP, it means I am writing NumPy. Yes or no, guys? Wherever I see NP, it means I am writing NumPy. So to access any operation or function defined inside NumPy, I can use NP method now. So you see, I want to access array function. It is defined in NumPy, so I am using np.array. I am using this random.rand function, so I am using np dot. So if I don't use np dot, this function will not work. Fine. See, it is throwing me an error, yes or no? Name random is not defined. Why? My interpreter is not understanding where this random comes from. This random is defined in NumPy, not in the basic Python. So I have to, if I use like np dot, now I'm saying just search in the NumPy library, you will find NumPy dot rand function. It is telling my, it is telling my interpreter. I'm telling it to my interpreter actually. Understood? Yes, who was asking the question? Is your doubt clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So let's talk about pandas, guys. So pandas is the most important library, guys, when it comes to the data manipulation or to perform any operation related to the data. So the pandas mainly it is used. Pandas is what? Pandas is known as panel data, guys. Pandas means panel data. So it is mainly used, it is used to work on tabular data. What is tabular data, guys?
It is represented in a table.
The data in the form of?
Table.
In the form of table. So table has what? Rows and columns, yes or no? And the cells? As you can take example of Excel. So it is the substitute of Excel, you can say, but it provides you number of statistical operations here, guys. So let's talk about, pandas. So first of all, we have to import pandas to use it. So any library we have to use, So first of all, we have to import that. If we want to use any function related to that particular library. So pandas, I can say import pandas. So as I say import pandas, so all operations are available related to pandas now, guys. Are you getting my point? So it is a longer name, so I can give a instance to it and I say PD. It means what? Tell me. If I say import pandas as PD, it means
So
wherever I use PD, it means pandas.
Declared as.
Right? It is declared as like, PD. So wherever I use PD, it means pandas. So pandas, using pandas, we can create series, guys. We can create data frames. We can create a series. We can create a data frame. We can import the CSV files. We can import the XLS files, XLX or XLXS or is last name. So we can import these files. Apart from that, we can work on JSON files and all. So the main thing is that we can create series object, we can create data frame object, and we can work on the files directly. So first of all, what is a series? So just a second, guys. So what is the series, guys? Let me have a glass of water, guys. I'll be back. Sorry. Yeah. So you can say a single column is a series, guys. A single column is a series. So the thing is, you can say pd dot series function, and in this function you can pass a list. For example, this is the syntax. This is the syntax of it. So here pd is what? PD is the instance of pandas, and series is the function. See, when we write parentheses open and close, it means function. So I am using a function a series function to create a series, and inside this function I can pass a list to create a series. So let's have an example, guys. For example, my variable name is ser and I want to create a series. I am saying pd dot capital S, it is there, series, and here I pass a list. For example, I say 1 2 3 4 5 and I print ser. So it is a series object. If I say type, so it is giving me series. So type is the function that tells the type of any, data of the variable. What is the data type of any variable? So it is telling me it is a panda series. Yes or no, guys? Panda series, and it has integer objects. So these are the what values that I have given, and these are the indexes. A series index always starts from 0. So if I make them like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, tell me this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will change or not, guys?
No.
So only the values will change. Indexes remain the same. If you want to change the indexes, for example, you want to give the name indexes on the basis of whatever you like. So you can pass a like index equal to, and you can pass a list. For example, I want to say A, B, C, D, E. So I can say A, B, C, and then I can say D, and then I can say E. So see, I have got the indexes as per my choice. Yes or no, guys? So if we want to give the indexes of our choice, we can use index attribute inside the series function. So inside the series, I am passing a list of values, and then I am passing again list, that is a list of the indexes. Now, how can we access? How can we access the values? So we can access on the basis of two indexes. One is the series indexes defined by the series. Those are from 0 to 5, starts from 0. So if I say ser 0, so it is giving me the first element. And if I say ser minus 1, so it is giving me the last element. So any, when we want to access the indexes, we always use the square brackets, guys, and we can pass the index here. So whatever index you pass, it will gives you the value on the available on that particular index. Now you tell me, I want to access this 30. How can I do that? I want to access 30. So I
Then
can
you're gonna
say,
put 2.
so I'm getting 30. Yes or no, guys? So this is the accessing the elements. This is what? Accessing the elements. Accessing the elements in a series. Fine. So we can slice the values. Slice one more thing. We can get the values on the basis of the indexes I defined. So for example, I want to get this 30, but not by using 2, but by using the index that is defined by me. That is C, yes or no? What is the index? See, series has two indexes. One is the indexes defined by series that starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another one is defined by the user, and we have defined the indexes what? A, B, C, D, E, yes or no? So to access any element, you can use anyone. Even you use 2, even you C, still you are getting the same output. Fine, guys?
Yes.
Now, for example, we talk about slicing. Slicing is what? I don't want a particular value, but I want a series of values. For example, I want the values from 20 to 40. Get the values from 20 to 40. So how can I get that? So my object is series. So the syntax of slicing is start index, colon, stop index, colon, and then we have the step. This is the syntax of it. So we can say series What is the start index? I want from 20 to 40. So 20 is available at, you know, B index and 40 is available at D index, or we can say like it is at 1 and it is like 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 I want. So I can pass like start index is 1 and stop index is 3. But the thing is, the last index is excluded. If I say 1 is to 3, 1 colon 3, so it will give me the values until the index 2. If I want to get the third index, the value at the third index also, then I have to make it 4. So I'm getting 20, 30, 40. Step size is by default 1. So if I write it or not write it, it will not make any difference. For example, I want to get the, you know, get the every alternate element. So I can say series. So the start index is what? 0. The end index is what? 5. 4. And I want every second element. So step is 2. So it will give me every second element. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
So this is not giving me the last element. So I can make it one more extra.
So we don't have to mention that every time start, stop, and step.
No, that is by default. Even if you don't mention them, then you can use like this. It will again give you the same thing because those are by default. Okay.
Okay.
By default, the start index is 0, stop index is the last index by default. Only you have to pass the step size. For example, you want to reverse the series. Then you can use like this series. Start index won't change. Then you have to just say -1 and it will be reversed. Can you see along with the indexes?
Yes.
Fine. So this is the syntax to reverse the series. So I hope you understand what a series is. So you can say a single column in the table. Every single column in the table is known as a series in pandas. Fine, guys.
Yep.
Now I will come to the directly like how to import a file in pandas, because we need to learn a few statistical operations. How to import a CSV file in pandas. So for that we use pd.read underscore CSV function, and here we give the path of the file. Fine, guys. So this read CSV function is there in pandas that we use to read the CSV files. And here we have to give the path of the file. So for example, I need to import data. I have taken a variable that is data equal to, I say pd.read underscore CSV, and here let me give the path of a file. So this is the path of the file, guys. So if I run it and I am printing like data, so the data is printed, yes or no? This is the file, guys. This is the file in my system, and this is the path of the file. I am just passing that path inside this read CSV function. And when I am printing my data, so data is the variable that is containing this file now. So the data is printed in this manner. Everybody, have you got it? So you can import a Excel file as well. Okay. So to import Excel file, we use pd.read Excel function. pd.read Excel, and here you give the path. Fine, guys. So tell me how many, can you read the column names? This passenger ID, survived, P class, name, sex, age, CBSP parts, ticket, fare, cabin, and embark. These are what? These are what? Column names. And these are the row indexes we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So how many rows do we have here? 891 rows and 12 columns. So tell me if this data is in tabular form or not, guys.
Yes, it is in tab.
Yes.
So when we have data in this form, so mainly you will be working like as a business analyst. So in this kind of data, okay. So this is in the tabular form. So let's talk about a few functions on pandas. Or you can say methods. Let's talk about the methods available in pandas. So for example, I want to like check the shape of the data. Shape of the data set. So I can use this data dot shape attribute and it will give me the shape. So it means what? It means 891 rows and
12
12
columns.
columns. Fine. This is what this is the shape of the data. Apart from that, I want to get the column names. I want to get the column names only. So for that, we have data.columns attribute, guys. So it gives us all the column names. Can you see? Passenger ID, survived, P class, name, sex, and all. Yes. We
Yeah.
are getting the column names. So this way you can get the column names, guys. Clear? For example, you want some basic information about this data set. Then for that we can use data.info function. So data.info function does what? It tells like 891 entries. It means there are 891 rows and the indexes of those rows are like this from 0 to 890. Fine. And total
Can
we
we-
have 12 columns. Yes, please.
Yeah, so can we search like a specific number or a name?
Number, like you want to get the any particular column, right?
On list.
Yes, I will come to that. I will come to that.
Okay. Okay.
Or like particular values on the basis of some condition, right? Like
Yeah.
for example, you want to get the details of all the males or females like that. Fine. So I will
Yeah,
come to
or
that.
single person. Yeah.
Yeah, or a single person, or like how many males survived or how many female died, like that, right? So
Yep.
we can do all those things. We will come to that. So here the column names and the indexes of columns are 0 to 11. Total columns are 12. And here it is talking about the data types. So passenger ID is the integer data, survived is the integer data, name is this is the object column, sex is the object column, and so on. So here you can see D types. So float, like 2 columns we have float, 5 columns are integer, and 5 columns are object. So this is I am getting the basic information. For example, you want to check the statistical measures. Statistical measures of the data. So for that we have data.describe function. So it is giving the basic statistical measures. Can you see total count, mean value, standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value, 25th percentile value, 50th percentile value, and the 75th percentile value of all the numeric columns. Of all the numeric columns. So the thing is, it only works on numeric columns. So don't you think like it's a very powerful function which gives a lot of information in a single code, in even a
Yeah.
single line, just 2 values? Yes or
Yes.
no?
It's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So standard deviation. So here you can this is now your job. Like how do you? This is the information, right? This is the information created by the data analyst. As a business analyst, now it is your job. Like what these values are saying. Like, what is the meaning of 25th percentile value? What is the meaning of, like, you know, if mean is saying if it is good or bad? That is your job now. Fine. So these are the some statistical measures we are talking about here. Now, for example, we have to check the duplicate values. Guys, tell me if it is good to have duplicate values in the data or not.
No.
It is really bad.
Pardon? So it is not good to have the duplicate values because they are just unnecessarily increasing the size of the data. So we can check the duplicate values, like the data dot duplicated function is there. And it gives the Boolean values. If we pass it inside the data frame again, like for example, I say data. So it is giving me the empty data set. Yes or no? It means no duplicate values are there. Or you can say dot count, I think, dot count. So it is saying 0, 0, 0. It means there are no duplicates in any of the columns. Fine, guys. So data.
So what if they have? Okay, sorry. What if they has it, right? What we do? We delete it.
Yes, if we have duplicate values, so we remove them. If we have duplicate values, then we remove them. Okay. So for that, we use this function data dot drop underscore duplicates. And I this one. Fine, guys. To drop the duplicate values, to remove the duplicate values, we have to use this function data dot drop duplicates. And it creates a new data frame. So I want the changes to be made in the existing data frame. So we say one in place equal to true. So we have to pass this attribute. If we use it, then we can drop the duplicate values. Fine, guys.
Yep.
So let's talk about the null values. That is a very important thing. Tell me if it is good to have null values in the data set or not. Null values are the missing values.
No, it cannot complete a data.
So actually they create the bias in the data. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Null values, they create the bias in the data, or whatever, like we just need to remove them. We just need to tackle them. So this, like, how to find the null values? For that we have data dot is null function is there, and we use it. So it, you know, it returns a data frame of Boolean values, false, true, false, true. So wherever we have true, it means it is a null value. So you can see here in the cabin column, we have true here. Yes or no?
Yeah.
It means it's a null value. But don't you think it is quite difficult to understand?
Yeah.
So for this, we just pass it inside the data frame. Sorry, not required to pass in the data frame. We can directly apply this sum function. Column wise, it gives the null values now. So it is saying in H column we have 167, 177 null values, and in the cabin column we are having 687 null values. Fine, guys.
Yeah. So it does it consider incomplete data?
Yes, maybe like at the time of entry, somebody missed the values. So there are several techniques like how we fill the values, null values. That is a different matter. Okay.
Okay.
How we treat these values, how we treat these null values, that is a different scenario. Here we are just trying to find out whether we have missing values or not, or null values or not, right? So this is a way we use. Instead of this, we can use one more function, that is data dot is NA function is there. So both the function do the same task. Fine. Now let's talk about, see, in data, you know, like we have two types of value. Maybe we have categorical columns. We have categorical data, yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Or we have discrete or continuous data.
Yes, yes.
So categorical data is what? Here mainly I am talking about the categorical data. Anyone would like to give any example of categorical data? The data which we have in the category, for example, male, female.
Gender.
It is a category or not?
It is.
So when you like male, female, for example, we say employed or not employed.
Unemployed.
Not employed. Okay. Or like we say pass or fail.
Married or unmarried.
Yes, married or unmarried. Okay. So this is what? Categorical data. This is what? Categorical data. Fine. So when we have the categorical data, we want to find out like how many unique values a particular data may have. For example, I want to select data, and here I want to say sex. Here this is. What is the name? It is small or capital? Do we have? Capital S is there. See, so this is how we can get a particular column. Yes or no? So inside the square brackets, you have to just pass the column name in this, in the quotation marks. You will get the values now, but you want to be in a particular, format as it looks in the data frame. Then you have to pass it inside the double square brackets and you will get the values like this. On the left side, it is a series object. Series is what? When we have a single column, yes or no, guys? So if we have 12 columns, so it means there are 12 series related to this data set. So on the left side, we are having the indexes, and on the right side, we are having the values. So you tell me if it is a categorical column or not.
Yes.
So if we want to check like how many unique values, do you know what unique values are? Like how many different values a particular column has. So for this, we have like data.n unique. It will check for the whole data set. So try to understand this one, guys. So it is saying 891 unique values in passenger ID, and total number of observations we have 891. So every ID is unique itself. Like no ID is being repeated. Yes or no?
Yes.
If we say survived column, only two unique values are there. It means, for example, one is 1 and 0. So 1 and 0s are being repeated again and again. You can see here. Where is my data? The survived column. Can you see 0, 1, 1, 1, 0? So only zeros and ones we have in this particular column. So could you tell me if it is a categorical column or not? This survived.
It is categorical.
It is a categorical column. The same with like P class. It has only 3 unique values. It's a categorical column. The same with like sex column. It has only 2 unique values. It's a categorical column. SIB-SP is also a categorical column. It is only having 7 unique values. P arch is there. Embarked is also a categorical column. Fine, guys. Now you want to check like what are the names of those unique values in for example in sex column. So how can you do? What can you do now? You can say data dot and column name. What is the column name? That is sex. And you want to know like what are the unique values we have in this particular data in series or column. Then you can use this. So we are having 2 like male and female. Yes or no? It is giving me the names of those values, like male is there and female is there. For example, you want to check in the embarked column, data.embarked dot unique, we can say. And it is giving me the unique values in a particular column. So embarked column has S, C, Q, and N. So these are the categories. And I mean like only these values are being repeated again and again. So do we have married column here? No. But P class is there. P class is also a categorical column. So we can say data.P class dot, what is that? Unique. So in P class, we have 3 categories. So it is talking about the passenger class first, passenger class 2, and passenger class 3. So this way, like any unique function, it tells when we apply on the data set, it tells like how many unique values a particular column has, and it tells about all the columns. But it only gives the number. But if you want to check the names of those unique values, then you can go to a particular, particular column, and if you apply unique function, it will give you the names of the unique values. Fine, guys?
Yes.
Understood? Now, what is
Yes.
the use of these unique values? What is the use of these unique values? For example, I want to know how many males are there. Okay. Or you can say like, I want to just check, get me the data of male passengers only. Get me the data of male passengers only. So it means what? You want the whole data. I mean, all the columns you want, but you don't want all the rows. You want like, if it is female, do you want this one row? Yes or no? No, because we want the data for males only, for example, but you want all the columns to be, returned. So you can do one thing, data equal to, sorry, here you want like sex column, here we have sex column, and equal to you can use, and the value is male. It is giving you the Boolean values. If you pass it inside the data frame, then it will return you the complete data. Sex equal to, so it's a small m or capital M, I think. It's a small m. See, now you are getting 577 rows, yes or no, guys? Earlier, how many we had? 891. Earlier, we had 891. So it is returning you the data of males only. It is returning you the male data of males only. Now you want to check like males with survived, you want like how many survived. You want these two columns like the data of males and the survived column. Whatever value you want, you have to just write here, and you can say here survived. So this is giving you what? This is giving you like only for males. This is giving you only for males, like which one survived or not. But you want male and survived both the columns, then here you have to pass whatever column you want. For example, sex. Now you can easily correlate. Now you can analyze these two columns. Yes or no, guys? Everybody understood? For example, let me explain this one once again. What I'm saying, I want like this is the sex column, for example, and I want to get the values in sex. How many values we have? One is male and one is female, but I want the data only for males. Then I can say equal to male. So it means what? Equal to is a comparison operator, comparison operator. So it will check if any observation in the sex column will be equal to the male, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So it means for every male it is returning true, and for every female it is returning false. But I don't want these Boolean values, I want the whole data frame. So I can pass this one in the whatever the data set name is. So my data set name is data, and if I'm doing it, I am getting all the data frame. I am getting the whole data frame for male values only. Fine. But for example, you don't want the whole data frame. You don't want the whole data frame. You want the, like, for example, survived and get me survived and male column. Survived and what to call? sex column for male values only. So how can we do that? So we can, this will return me this, male values only, and I want watch which columns, whatever columns you want, just in the double square brackets, pass the column names. One, I want the survived, and second one, I want the, which one column, guys? Sex column. So I can say so. It is a capital or small, whatever is there.
You got a survived, you spelled wrong.
Survived. Okay, V is missing now. So I'm getting it. So, for example, you want to get the only first 5 rows, then you can pass here head, dot head, and head function will get you the first 5 rows only. For example, you want to get the first 10 rows, then you can pass the value here. It will give you the first 10 rows. Fine, guys. For example, for all these values, you want the last 5 rows. You want the last 5 rows only. Then you have the this one called tail function. Don't try to remember every function. Just try to understand like how it works, how Panda works. That's it. So we are getting last 5 rows. Yes or no, guys? Any column you pass here. For example, you want the P class column also, then you just pass P class here. Now you are having P class also. Now you want the last 10 rows, then you can pass 10 here and you are getting the last 10 rows. So this is the basic about the pandas, guys. Mohammed, I have to ask the coordinator, maybe you, wherever you applied, so ask, maybe I'm not sure whether you get the video of this or not. I'm not sure about that. So this is how pandas is. Guys, so do you think like it's a very good library? Very powerful library, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah. So now let's come to the visualization. What is visualization? For example, you don't want these values, but you want to visualize with the help of some graphs or whatever. So for visualization, we have 2 libraries. One is Matplotlib, and the second one is Seaborn. Seaborn library. Okay. So as always, so if you want to use these libraries, first of all, we have to import them. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah. You can import multiple libraries at the same time.
Yes, in the same, you can write all the things like import pandas, import numpy, import matplotlib, import seaborn, import scikit-learn, whatever you want. Okay.
Yep.
Dot pyplot. In the same cell, you import all the libraries. Dot pyplot. So it's a very long name for the library, and I have to use it again and again. So it is a very lengthy. So I can create an instance. So I am saying as PLT. I am also importing seaborn also here. So I don't have to write this again. So import seaborn as SNS. So this instance name you can give of your choice. Generally we use PLT and SNS for matplotlib and seaborn. But if you want, like you want to give it P or you want to give it to S, then you can. Fine. Instance name, you can give anything. Yes, Akash, please ask. Akasha is there, I think. Akasha Maksud. Yes, what question do you have? Can you hear
सर
me?
whenever
Yes.
सर जब भी मैं कोई लाइब्रेरी इंपोर्ट करना चाहती हूँ तो टर्मिनल मुझे शो करता है कि you have no any library like
Then you
pandas
can use
and
this one. Maybe you haven't installed that. So you do this command like pip install and give the library name here. Whatever. Okay. So when you give
okay,
this
sir.
command, shift plus enter, and that particular library will be installed. Fine. So for example, you want to
Thank you,
install
sir.
Seaborn, then you can say pip install Seaborn and then shift and enter. Once you press shift and enter, so it will be, pip install. What is there? Pip install. So for example, I want pip install pandas. Pip install. Can you see here? So because I have already pandas, so it is saying like it is already there. Your requirement is already satisfied. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you can use this command for any library. So let's talk about matplotlib and seaborn site. So these libraries are used to visualize the data. These libraries are used to visualize the data. So what is visualization, guys? When we want something in the form of a graph, right? So
Or can be a
matplotlib,
pie chart,
pardon?
pie chart or bar diagram.
Like pie chart, bar chart, right? Distribution plot, whatever. Okay, scatter plot. So many things are there, right? So if you want to put any graph and want to analyze your data on the basis of some visualizations, then you can use any of these libraries. So matplotlib came first into the existence, and seaborn, you can say, a bit more refined version of the matplotlib. You can use either of them, but seaborn library gives you more functionality about the like a better graph representation it gives to you. Fine, guys? Yes, please.
Yes, understood.
Yeah. For example, in my data, I want to check, I want to get the percentage of males and females. Like what is the percentage of males and what is the percentage of females? So let's try. How can we get that? So for this, we have like data, and this column we are talking about. Yes or no, guys? We are particularly talking about this column. This column tells me like males and females, and I want to know like what is the percentage of male and what is the percentage of female. So for that, we have value counts function. It gives you the number of the unique values. So it is telling me like 577 males and 314 female is there. Fine. So it is giving me the counts of the unique values. So 577 males and 314 females. So this column may have null values also. So it is not showing them. If you want the null values to be shown, then you can say this drop NA equal to false. Drop NA, sorry, drop NA equal to true. No, it should be drop NA equal to false. Value counts. Drop NA equal to false. What is happening to this one? So if I say here mbug,
You spelled it wrongly. I want to get the
drop,
percentage of females and females instead
no,
of
no,
males.
pardon? No, that is the drop NA function we can pass.
Above that, instead of males, you gave armless. Is that a problem?
Oh, no, that's a comment.
No, that
ID
is
rejects
commented.
that.
That is commented. So subset normalize ascending. What is the doc string? None. So maybe it is not taking the drop NA, but we can pass. I don't know why it is not taking. So this is, for example, I want for this column. Now I want to get the percentage. This is the count I am getting. So how can we find the percentage? How do we find the percentage, guys? For example, I want to first find the percentage for this male. So I will say like 577 multiply by 100 upon the total number of observations. We have the 891 something, yes or no? And it is in like 64% are the males there. Fine, guys. So
Yeah.
this is how we, calculate the percentage. So this percentage we can calculate here as well. So we can pass this like 100 upon the length of the data. The length of the data. So what is the length of the data, guys? If I say
891.
it
891.
gives you, no, so if you use this len function, so it gives you the length. Okay, you don't have to pass this manually like 891. You can use this function length of the data. It gives you the total number of observations in the data. So if I use this, so instead of count, now I'm getting the percentage, like 64% are male and 35 female. Fine. The same thing I can do using the pie chart. So I am creating a pie chart. So plt.pie is a function to create a pie chart. And here we have to pass the variable one column name. So data.sex column is there. And we use value counts function. Because value count function returns the value separately with the count, yes or no? It is giving me this value like male and female. So we use value counts function. And if I run it, so it is we have created a pie chart, but there are no values are shown. So here we have to pass the labels. Then we can say labels equal to. So we can pass a list. For example, I say male, comma, female. These two labels I want. So can you see we have got male and female here, yes or no? Yes,
Yeah.
guys. So now I want the value, percentage value here. For that we have an attribute here that is auto PCT. I'm saying auto PCT equal to inside the here you have to pass a format specifier with the percentile sign. It is like we say percentile. And for example, I want the values up to 2 decimal points. So you can say 0.2f. And if I run it, so see we are getting the value, yes or no? 64.4.76. So up to 2 decimal point we are getting. For example, you want up to 3 decimal point, then you can say 0.3f. Now we are getting the values up to 3 decimal points. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
So I want up to 2 decimal points, and apart from that, I want a percentage sign after this. Like I should know like what is it. I want to show like it is a percentage. Then you can pass after f percentile signs 2 times, and it will give you this percentile sign. So in my sex column, 64.76% are male and 35.23% are female. Passengers are female. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is pie chart. So do you think like it is quite useful for analysis?
Yeah.
So here we
Very.
are getting some extra information. So we can use this function plt.show. So sometimes this hide this extra information. Now we are getting the just plot. Fine. For example, I need to increase the size of this. So for that, we can pass a function here plt.subplots. And here this subplots function, we can pass the fixed size. Fixed size equal to, and it takes a tuple value. Tuple means inside the parenthesis, you can pass the value like height and width. For example, I say 8 and 8,6. Now the size has been increased, yes or no? Yes, guys.
Yeah.
So we can increase the pixel size as well. So for pixels, we have DPI. DPI stands for density per index per inches. And for example, I say 800. So now you can say it is a bit more clear now.
Yeah.
So this is how this matplotlib. This is a very powerful library, guys. Okay. For example, we want to check the statistical analysis of age. Analysis of age column. So for statistical analysis, we can use plt.boxplot, that is boxplot, and here we can say data.h. plt.box data dot is the on the y-axis I want age and my data I want data. plt.box. data.age. Why it is not showing? Do we have age column here? Yes, we have age, but it is not showing the because of the null values, I think. So first of all, we have to input the null values. So I'm doing something, guys. So I say data dot age dot VLAN, and I say data dot age dot mean, and I say in place equal to in place equal to
The spelling of true.
mean in place equal to true. Why it is not? Yes. So actually this is a box plot. This doesn't work if we have the null values. So what I did, I just filled the null values with the mean value in the age column. Now it is showing. So this is a box plot. I will tell you how it is, but it doesn't look very interesting. Yes or no, guys? So the same thing I can do with the Seaborn library.
Yeah, it's hard to read.
Seaborn library we can use with the SNS. So I'm saying SNS dot box plot, and here on the y-axis I want the age column, and my data is the data equal to data. The same thing is so which one is better, Seaborn or this matplotlib?
In Seaborn.
Seaborn, right? So Seaborn gives the better representation of the graphs. For example, I want to increase the size of this box plot, so I can use that subplots function and I can increase the fixed figure size. So let me tell you like how do we study this box plot. So I will say plt dot subplots, and here I say like fixed size. Fixed size equal to, for example, again I am saying 8,6, and I also want to increase the DPI, density of the pixels. So it is. So it looks better now. Yes or no, guys? This is the board. Now
Yep,
let's
much better.
understand what does it tell. So can you see this between like the middle line here in the box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This tells the median value. This tells the median value, that is somewhere around 30. The upper one, it is talking about the 75th percentile value, that is somewhere near 35 and 40. The lower, this tells about the 25th percentile value. Fine. And this lower bound and upper bound, this is known as lower bound, this is known as upper bound, and this is calculated by using the IQR method. So IQR method is different, like IQR of Q3 plus 1.5 into IQR and this. So whatever is above this whisker, this is known as upper whisker and this is known as lower whisker. Whatever data points are above this, those are treated as outliers, and those are below, those are also treated as outliers. So it is mainly used to detect the outliers. Fine, guys. So this is how can we create the box plot. For example, I want to check the distribution, how my data is distributed. For that, I can use this SNS dot dist plot is there. So I say data dot, for example, age column I want to have a look at. So it is giving me a histogram. This is known as histogram. Histogram has bins. So what do we understand? It is giving me the count. So most of the people, like highest range of people are around like 30 years of age. Yes or no, guys? Less
Yeah.
than 20 people or less than 10 people are there who are around 80 years of age. So the most of my data is around like 20 to 50 or 20 to 45. Yes or no?
Yep.
Like this here in this area. So in this you can say like this. If you say for example KDE equal to true, then you will have this, this line. Can you see? This is the distribution line. So let me increase the size so that you can have a better way of better representation, guys. So the same figure size I am using, For example, we may have this one KDE plot, SNS dot KDE plot, and here we can say on the y-axis I want age, and my data is data. This one I want to the x-axis. So this is just giving me the distribution line. So this is how my data is distributed. So I can see the density. This is telling me whether my data is normally distributed or it is having some skewness or fine. So we can, if you say like shade equal to true, then you are taking it in the shaded form, and you can change the color also. So you can say color equal to, for example, I say greens. So I'm getting it in the green form. So this is telling me the distribution. We also have the rug plot. For example, I say SNS dot rug plot. Rug plot tells the like how the data points are distributed, and I say data dot age column. Can you see these small bars here? We can increase the size. So that is height object we have here. For example, I say height equal to, and instead of this, I want it like 0.05. So even I can say like 0.5. So this is rug plot, guys. So this is telling about the density. Okay. Sorry, density of the data point. So we can do in a different, different things. For example, I want to check how my data, like how age and what to call fair are correlated. Fair columns are relative. So for that, I can use scatter plot. So SNS dot scatter. So scatter plot is a plot that tells about the how two discrete columns are distributed, how two discrete columns or numeric columns. Fine. So here I can say x equal to I want age, and y equal to I want, for example, fair, and my data name is data. So this is, this is the scatter plot. So let's understand how it, how it works. Palette equal to, for example, I say right. See, this is the fare, this is the age. So fare is like 100, 200, 300, 400 and 500 euros. And this is the age from 0 to 80. So what is it saying? Somebody like around 40 years of age, he is paying the highest value, that is around 500 euros. Yes or no? Can you see the age? These two data points, can you see these two data points?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is telling like somebody who is around the age of 38 or less than 40, he is paying around 500. But most of the people are paying less than 100 or around 100 euros. Yes or no?
Yeah.
A few people are there who are paying like between 100 and 300. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So this is, for example, you want to add one more column. For example, I want to check it on the basis of classes also. Like how the classes are is, what is the relation between the classes and this age and fare column. So I can use hue. If I want to add one more column, then I can say hue equal to, for example, I say P class. So can you see this is P class 1, P class 2, P class 3, yes or no? Okay, Mohammed, I will tell you how can we explain the box plot. Don't worry. So let's understand this one. So who is paying 500 euros? He is from first class. Yes or no?
Yeah.
And most of the people who are paying like between 100 to 300, they are from second class. And if we say, from the first class. And if we say like most of the people between 0 to 40 years of age, they are traveling in the third class. Green one is the third class. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So this is how this analysis takes place. This is how this analysis takes place. Akasha, I
So
will
the
ask
blue,
the coordinator, like,
yeah.
yes, please.
So the
If they
blue
can,
has more classes or people than the orange,
no,
right?
it's me like if you want to add one more column, then you can pass that with the hue object, hue attribute.
Okay. Okay.
And so because I was, I was analyzing two columns, age and fare. So for example, I want to add one more column in this, so I can pass this hue.
Okay.
So this is how it works. So do you think like this Seaborn and Matplotlib libraries, they are quite useful in the analysis of the data, guys?
Yes.
Like we can check share. For example,
It saves time,
pardon?
I mean, if the analyst has to read the reports, it saves a lot of time, just to see the charts.
You can
Different
analyze any column, like categorical or discrete or whatever. When we analyze any column in the form of time, then we use line chart. Okay.
line chart.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we don't have any column as per time here. So tomorrow we will have a case study. So I will try to have a to explain like if we have a time column. So how do we analyze that one? Fine.
Yep.
For
Okay.
example, I want to get the count plot. I want to get the count of males and females. I want to get the count of males and females on the basis of P class. P class means passenger class. Like how many, like in first class, how many passengers of male are there and how many passengers of female. Like in every class, how many males and females are there. Fine. So for that, I can use SNS.count plot is there. Count plot is there. And here I can say data dot so it is giving me like I can say this one on the y-axis I want age and my data equal to data, then it won't show me any warning message. Not age, my bad, it was sex. So this is giving me the count, yes or no, guys? This is giving me the count. Like this is the count. So male are like around somewhere 550 and female are there somewhere around 300. For example, I want this data on the basis of P class, then I can say hue equal to P class. Hue equal to P class. So we are getting the data on the basis of classes, guys. So like this blue one is the class 1, orange is the, this is the class 2, and green one is the class 3. So most of the males are passenger, traveling in class 3. Yes or no, guys? Can we analyze with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like in class 2 and class 1, almost equal number of passengers in terms of males. If we talk about females, so there is not a very big difference in the classes. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, we can analyze using this. So guys, this thing we can, if you want to get the particular count, then instead of the graph, we can use it directly using group by method. There is a function group by. Here I want, for example, sex, and here I can use dot P class, and then I have to use value counts function. So you can get the exact numbers here. So this is the P class. In class 3, for 144 female passengers are there. In class 2, in class 1, 94 passengers were there. In class 2, 76 passengers were there in terms of female. If we talk about males, so in class 3, 347 males were traveling. In class 1, 122 males were traveling, and class 2, 108 males were traveling. Yes. Can we analyze with this?
Yeah.
Like how many males or females are, what to call, traveling in each class or whatever. For example, if we want to check how many males or females survived, so we can do like this. Here I can take survived column, and I want to talk about the males and females. Here I can say sex column. So 0 means died and 1 means survived. Okay. So 468 males died, and out of 81 females died. If we talk about the survival, 233 females survived and 109 male survived.
Right.
Yeah. So if we check
Also,
the percentage, the males are the ones like who died more. Yes or no? In comparison to the female.
yeah.
So this thing we can use during using the same thing we can plot using the count plot, guys. So I can say sns.count plot. So count plot gives us the counts. And on the Y, for example, I want a sex, and here as a hue, I want survive, and my data is data. So this is male and female, okay, and this is male and this is female. So this blue bar is telling about the death, okay. This is because it is representing 0. So 0 means death, 1 means survived. So this orange bar is telling about the survival. So you can say like more than 400 males died, and around like 100, less than 100 female died. If you talk about the survival, so female survived more in comparison to the male. but males died more in comparison to the female. Can we have a look? Can we understand that with the help of this?
Yeah.
So this is like how we visualize the data in Matplotlib and Seaborn, guys. So it depends like what kind of data we have. So I hope you have got a basic idea about the pandas and this and how it is helpful to the for us as a business analyst. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah. So this is what they do all day.
Pardon?
So,
Yes.
I mean, this is what they do all day, like data scientists.
See,
or
this is
analysts.
like business analyst,
Oh,
like
business.
he will
Okay.
be doing all those things. Okay, he will be doing all those things. Then he will, what he will do, he will using his intelligence that he has got on the basis of his knowledge, he will recommend some decisions. He will make some decisions, or he will give some recommendations to the operational team or to his business team or to the client, whatever.
Okay.
Fine. So he needs to understand all these things, like what this count plot is saying, what this distribution is saying, and all.
How do we get this file?
Pardon?
Like, how do we get this file, like your file? Like, will you be sharing something or like this Jupyter file?
Okay, this is Jupyter file, guys. So this is the Jupyter notebook. This is known as Jupyter notebook. I forgot to tell you. So we can give the name like webinar. And it is for the like business analyst, yes or no?
No, I mean to say like, can
Yes,
we get
I
this
have got
copy?
your question. I have got your question. So I will ask the team, maybe you can contact.
Okay.
Okay, so you can contact them. Maybe you will get the link of the video and the file also.
Okay, thank you.
You can contact Learnbay. So you might have got a number. Do you have the number?
Yes, because yeah.
So if you don't have any number, so you can you see this one? On this number you can contact, guys.
Okay.
I am posting in the chat. On this number you can contact for any details you want. The links or whatever. Yes, guys.
I mean, I'm not from India, so I can use WhatsApp in order to contact.
Yeah. This is the WhatsApp number itself. So you can WhatsApp
Okay.
them. You can tell your name and the country of origin, whatever, and
Okay.
you can contact them or chat or whatever you want. Okay.
Thank you.
Even in Learnbay, I have seen like some international students are also there, so they might be contacting through WhatsApp, I hope. So see, guys, the thing is, in 2 hours, I cannot tell you everything, right? So if you want to learn like NumPy, so it may take like 3 to 5 classes, or if you talk about pandas the same way, Matplotlib and Seaborn and everything. But what I tried to tell you is the idea how it works. Don't focus like how this what is happening, what is the syntax and all. So yes, Federicio, this is on a Telegram channel we have, so you can contact them. They have the Telegram channel as well. You can join that. So all the updates and everything for the further webinars, everything you will be updated over there. So my job was just to tell you like how it works actually as a business analyst. So guys, if you have any doubts till now, any confusions, whatever, you can ask me.
Right. It was really nice class. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's a big compliment for me.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any doubts like how it works in the industry or whatever? So I hope like you have got a clear idea about the business analyst and a data analyst. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
For that, just remember these 3 to 4 things. What is descriptive, prescriptive, and predictive analysis on the basis of this. But let me tell you one more thing. It also depends on the, how big our organization is. For example, if you take an example of Amazon, so maybe several business analysts or data analysts would be working because the size of data is huge. Every day, like zettabytes of data is being created over there. Yes or no?
Yeah.
But in a small organization, sometimes a data analyst and a business analyst is doing the same job. I mean, they just combined. two different designations into one. So if you are being hired as a data analyst, you would be working as a business analyst also. And if you are hired as a business analyst, you might be working as a data analyst as well. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So it depends on the like hierarchy a particular organization has, or the size of the organization, or the data, like size of the data they are working upon. So it depends on several aspects. So as a business analyst, at least you should have, whatever. Let me show you that one. Just wait, guys. So can you see here? Can you see these slides now, guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is it visible
Yeah.
to you? Yeah. So whatever points I have mentioned here, so it is as far as my personal experience being concerned, and what I have seen practically. So sometimes the theoretical things we read on the internet, they might be different in actual scenario, and it varies organization to organization. So it is not mandatory. Fine. It is not something like if it is here, the same will be in the next organization. So what I mean to say, like sometimes a job of a business analyst and a data analyst is the same, because the company doesn't have different organization like designations. That is why if you are applying for a business analyst job, it is mandatory or it is essential or necessary for you to have some skills, like basic skills, like Excel you should know, some basic operations on SQL you should know. Python is very important. These libraries at least you should know, like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn we were talking about. You don't need to learn the algorithms, okay, how to apply algorithms or what. So that is the job of a machine learning engineer or a data scientist. You don't have to do that. But these are few things, like how to analyze the data, how to perform some statistical operations. And one more thing, statistics is also very important, guys. So if you don't understand the statistics, what is the difference in mean, median, and mode, and what is dispersion, so you won't be able to analyze data in a better way. So even you cannot do anything. So statistics is also very important. So I hope you are clear with the job prospects, and what are the skills required, and what are the job responsibilities a business analyst and a data analyst has.
Yeah.
So as for now, that's all from my side, guys. Tomorrow we'll be having a case study, and all the operations we performed here in Matplotlib, Pandas and all. So I just gave you an overview, like how it works, the functions and all. Tomorrow we will be talking about how can we use them in a context. Okay, how we approach a problem, and how do we perform all these operations in a sequence. Fine, guys?
Yeah.
So tomorrow we will have a data set, and in an particular order. So I will try to explain everything required so that you can have a better idea.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you so much, guys. It has been a really nice session. I hope you didn't get bored in this session. And I really enjoyed talking to you. You have been very participative. Thank you so much again. And see you tomorrow, guys. Have a very good day. And I wish you a very happy learning and good health, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, friends.